Yo! Today we are gonna talk about the one-child policy of China. We are going to start with the background of this thing, and then why it's a problem, and then some conclusions and some discussion about it. Okay, so the background of this one-child policy is that it is a conspiracy. It is a news narrative against China and to make China look bad. And it's also based on a larger conspiracy that has been proven. Well, I mean, it's a very old conspiracy, but it's been proven like basically for a very long time now, years and years and years, to be a false conspiracy of a so-called overpopulation problem of the planet. Too many humans and too little resources, food and so on. But I mean, it's a fake, it's a false story, it's a false conspiracy, it's false information. And I mean, it's basically about poor countries or like non-beige countries that are being told by by America and so on to control their populations and stop having so many people. There's a racist factor in there, and it's based on a fake, false information conspiracy of overpopulation. It's not true. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Why is this a problem, this anti-China one-child policy narrative? I mean, first of all, it's based on a conspiracy. It's another method to like make China look evil or bad. It's a moral attack against China that like a magical number of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of children in China were lost because of this policy that China got from basically by influence of America to control the population of China. And then it's just like America has abortion. You can be respectable and call it a discussion about abortion, but it's really just like about people who are obsessed with fetuses and women's activities. They're obsessed with fetuses and abortion and fetishists of fetuses and so on that just poison the discussion and just I mean anyway. It is not knowable how many children in China were affected, or I mean, how many abortions, fetuses and so on were like affected in China. It's not knowable, and also every fetus is scientifically not viable for successful birth. So I mean, and China was also poor, so healthcare was not the best. So I mean, it's not knowable how many fetuses were affected or children were affected. So like. But the conspirators and fetishists will imagine millions and billions of children and fetuses like so-called lost in China, and it's, I mean, like they were angels, they were innocent babies that were never born in so-called evil China. But it's not true. Like it's not true. It's just a goddamn conspiracy. Why? China became the largest population on the planet. So I mean. It based on that fact alone, it's just it's just weird to like imagine to just conspire against China and say that, oh, so many children, so many fetuses were lost. I mean, China became the largest population on the planet. I mean, relax. You already got what you wanted, Mr. Conspirator. So many babies in China that China became the largest population on the planet. So I mean, it's just a weird conspiracy to attack China as evil because of the one-child policy, when China had the most children on the planet to become the largest population on the planet. It's just weird. It's just weird. This conspiracy is just weird. And this narrative against China about the one-child policy is just weird. Like, there are so many children in China that China became the largest population. Like, there is no need for any conspiracy against this evil one-child policy. Like, there is no need. China is the largest population. Like, what are you saying? That China should have double the people that China already has? Like, what is this? What is the purpose of this conspiracy? Because if China was bad for having this one-child policy, then they should have been better and have now 4 billion people or something. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. The conspiracy is just dumb and weird and illogical. Well, I mean, it's a conspiracy. But I mean, to all of the conspirators that believe in this, that write about this one-child policy in a negative way against China, like, please get out of women's vaginas. Get out of people's bedrooms. Like, don't be so fetus obsessed. Don't fetishize fetuses, and don't obsess about people's fetuses and their like vaginas. Just don't. Like, it's just weird. It's crazy and it's weird. Okay, so yeah, like, I mean, the problem is that it is a conspiracy, and it's not a logical conspiracy. It's just a weird conspiracy. Okay. So, as we already said, the one-child the one-child policy and a negative narrative against China about it is a conspiracy, but it is based on a larger, older conspiracy about overpopulation, that there are or there will be too many humans on the planet, and that the human population grows quicker than food resources and other resources and so on. But I mean, it's been proven for like almost as long as the idiot conspiracy about overpopulation has been a thing, that it has been proven for almost as long to be false. It's just a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. Like, there is not an overpopulation, and there won't be an overpopulation. First of all, humans eat too much. Humans can exist on very on a much lower caloric intake than they do, and still survive. So I mean, there would have to be like a very big human population on the planet, and a very low very low food population, for it to be like a problem where people start dying from like not having enough food and so on. So I mean, like, no. But I mean, it's a global. No, I mean, no, it's a global conspiracy, but it's a conspiracy that affected like a number of countries, and especially America, which is somehow always involved with a conspiracy. Most conspiracies. So, the American, this conspiracy of overpopulation basically culminated in a book released by a biologist in America, an American, but basically a German American. Anyway, so his name was Paul R. Ehrlich, one of those things. And his book was called The Population Bomb, released in 1968. Yeah, there is no population bomb. It's just fake information. It's just false information, a myth. It's a conspiracy. So, I mean, he is still alive, and I assume that he still believes in this, and so on and so forth. But I mean, it's just bad information, false information. It's a myth. It's a conspiracy, and I mean, I don't know what you're gonna say. He's associated with California and Stanford University, so he's there in the sunshine, imagining a population bomb. It's a population conspiracy. It's a bomb of conspiracies. So, yeah. So, as I said, America is one of the countries that believes in this and promotes this conspiracy of population bomb for like years and years, decades and decades and decades. And, yeah. Yeah. And because of this general belief in America, but it's a population bomb, or a population crisis that basically is a problem because of other countries that are non-beige, majorly, like America. I don't even know if it's that true anymore. Isn't there like, it doesn't matter. So, enter the United Nations, which is an organization, an international organization based in America, USA. It's based in New York, I would say. So, yes, United Nations. I mean, I don't know if I want to dive deeper into United Nations because, I mean, like, obviously China is a member, but I mean, there are like problems with United Nations too, like, obviously. But anyway, the United Nations is based in USA. It's influenced by USA, and it's also funded majorly by USA. And when it comes to this conspiracy about overpopulation of humans and other countries that are non-beige should morally and coercively by United States control their populations. The United Nations has a specific program called United Nations Fund for Population Activities that was funded in 1969 to basically advise other countries on how to control their populations. Crazy. Okay, it was founded in 1969, and I mean the whole premise is insane. But specifically insane because Ronald Reagan, oh Jesus, I'm not gonna dive deeper into the Ronald Reagan because that has so many problems, but George H.W. Bush, I'm not gonna dive into that either because that has so many problems. George W. Bush, I don't know which one of those has the most problems, but anyway, I'm not gonna dive deeper into that with any videos because I don't have the energy or the time. But these presidents of USA and their administrations, they withheld funding from this population activities department of the United Nations, UNFPA, because UNFPA and their leaders did not listen to direct demands from the USA government on how to pressure countries and their population control activity. And also these countries received funding, or they didn't receive funding from the UNFPA. Like literal pressure from the USA government on how on how to control other countries' population through the UNFPA. Also China. So it's just a mess of conspiracy and immoral pressure by United States in a UNFPA to like control other countries' population. It's literally beyond, it's beyond immoral, it's beyond crazy, it's beyond like insane, it's beyond conspiracies, it's just evil. It's just evil. Let's just say it's just evil. And America has been murdering black people for like hundreds of years, so based on racism and other reasons. So I mean, like, evil. It's just evil. So I mean, okay. So the first leader of UNFPA was Rafael Salas, who was born in the Philippines when the Philippines was occupied by USA. So I mean, there is a risk that Rafael M. Salas was influenced and pressured by United States, like literally by his country being occupied by United States and so on. So I mean, it's just a whole lot of United States involvement in this control of population of other countries system. Okay, so it's obvious that UNFPA and through United States then, also I mean like as an influence, was related to population and demographics of other countries, and that it evolved into an advocacy group, as in like telling other countries on how to do things about their population. And it also evolved into a coercive population control program of other countries. China was also affected. So with the direct help of the UNFPA, as influenced by United States and the UN, United Nations and the UNFPA, the Chinese government instituted a policy that forbade women from having more than one child in a lifetime. So the one-child policy was created in China based on influence from United States. So I mean, any evil narrative about this one-child policy that is written by people in media and news, they immorally and evilly omit the information that United States influenced China to create this policy. And any abortions that came out of this program and policy was based in a large part, by United States. So, yes. One of the people in China that was influenced by this myth of overpopulation and so on was a man called Yin-Chu. And he was an academic, and once he was the president of the University of Beijing. So he was influenced by this conspiracy of overpopulation, and he was also a part of the Chinese government at one point, and he advised the Chinese government. And this, combined with United Nations and their USA influenced population control policy, basically resulted in a one-child policy and a population control program in China, and then all of that created this whole conspiracy narrative against evil China and their population oppression control of population. And I mean, it came from United States, United Nations. So I mean, the conspiracy also evolves because, I mean, like, who's gonna stop it? Now the conspiracy is that China has a population problem, and that there are not enough people in China for the future. And I mean, like, the conspiracy was illogical to begin with, so I mean, like, it just becomes crazier and more illogical. Like, first of all, there's not enough people, and now first there's too many people, and now there's not enough people, and I'm like, China was and still has the most population on the planet. So I mean, like, the fact is the fact, and then this conspiracy just makes twists the facts and make everything like illogical and crazy. But I mean, now the narrative is like China has not enough people, and it's a negative China narrative. I mean, like, obviously. So I mean, like, what a, wha- what a, I mean, the goal is to make China look negative and bad and evil. So that's the conspiracy. And America and their abortion obsessed people are still driving that conspiracy, you know, through the off the cliff, and you know, jumping into people's bedrooms and putting their opinions into women's vaginas, and you know, telling them what to do. What? That's funny. That's very funny, actually. But it's not funny when people die because they can't. They couldn't get an abortion, and you know. Ugh. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when when conspiracy is your energy. But when it affects other countries, then it's just I mean, idiot policies based on fake information and false conspiracies and myths and just stupid. I mean, it's a conspiracy. The one-child policy, negative narrative against China is just a conspiracy. It's just dumb.